All right, you guys. So we have an update on the case out of Cleveland where the two young girls were found in a suitcase buried in a field. So yesterday, police executed a search on East 162nd Street. Now, after that search warrant, they took in a person of interest, and that person of interest name is Aaliyah Henderson. Aaliyah Henderson was later charged with murder and endangering a child. Now, you guys, after all of this broke, there was a woman that took to social media to say that Aaliyah was actually her neighbor. Now, she confirmed that Aaliyah had children, and she would hear the children crying, and when they would start crying, Aaliyah would turn up the music. Went on to say that Aaliyah would get into arguments with all of the neighbors, and at some point she questioned Aaliyah about the whereabouts of her children because she hadn't seen her children. Police have not come out and actually named the victims, but we know they said that they are half siblings. And this could mean that they have the same mom but a different dad. So if you Google Aaliyah Henderson's name, you see that in Cleveland, Ohio, around 2019, there was this article published that features Aaliyah, her two children, and her mother. So in this article, it says that Aaliyah has two daughters, one by the name of Mila and one by the name of Amor. And if you do the math, the ages matches up to the victims' ages in 2026. Now, at the time of me making this video, it still has not been confirmed if it's Mila and Amor. But y'all, this is a very, very heartbreaking case that's developing. Now, I was able to find Aaliyah's mother on social media, and she hasn't said anything about her granddaughters, this situation, or anything. But she was actively posting on social media all day yesterday, so there is no way she didn't know about the situation that was unfolding. Now, my heart absolutely breaks for these babies. I will keep you guys updated as more information comes out. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this case.
Aaliyah Henderson has been arrested and charged with murder and child endangerment. Now, this comes after two little girls were found buried in suitcases in a field on Monday. Now, they believe that she may be the children's mother. Let's talk about this. So, according to reporting on Monday, a man found a partially buried suitcase in a field near Jen Academy in the South Collingwood neighborhood. Now, he opened that suitcase and found human remains. He called officers, and that's when they discovered another suitcase that also had human remains inside. At a press conference on Monday, it was revealed that this was two little girls, one believed to be 8.5 to 13 years old, and the other believed to be 10.5 to 14 years old. But authorities have not positively identified the young girls. Our authorities did search a home that was across the street from where the girls were found, and that was the home of 28-year-old Aaliyah Henderson. Now, according to neighbors, she lived there with her two daughters, Amor Wilson and Mila Chapman. Now, authorities were seen in her home for several hours conducting a search, and they also took her into custody, and she was later booked on a charge of murder and child endangerment. So as of right now, we're waiting for authorities to hold some type of press conference or release some type of information. Aaliyah was arrested and charged on yesterday evening.
Waiting for me to speak on the case that has happened in Cleveland, Ohio. And ever since then, it's been raining. And it's probably going to be raining for the next week or so, as we enter into spring season. It has been some horrific things that has been happening in Cleveland, Ohio. And me, with my optimistic mind that I have, the first thing that this whole situation screamed was the mother. Where is the mother? Why didn't she make enough noise for her daughters? All of my fingers was pointing to her. Meanwhile, we had other speculations on the internet screaming, it's a serial killer on the loose. Everybody watch their daughters. I mean, it's a serial killer probably in every state. But in this situation, it was screaming mother, father, parents. And what do they always say? Mother's babies, father's maybes. So in my head, I was always thinking the mother. And if you all are wondering what I am talking about, I am talking about the situation that occurred March 4th, 2026 in Cleveland, Ohio. on East 162nd Street near Ginn Academy All Boys High School. There was a man walking his dog. The dog suddenly stopped and sniffed out a suitcase. The man turned around and imaginably he probably thought he was going to find a suitcase full of money. But no, he found a head, a human head. After doing more investigations, they found another body, not even feet away, in a shallow grave, in another suitcase. As the story developed, they found out that the mother had all ties to the connections. She buried these babies in a field right across from her home. So every day she was watching out the window to see if anybody has found what she has done. She is now in custody, and we are now waiting for more developing news. We may never know why this woman did what she did to her children. But one thing I do know is it takes a sick individual to do something like this to their children. I mean, you behead your child, stuff it in a suitcase, and then bury it. I swear if she get off on this shit, it's going to be hell to pay with her in the streets or out of the streets. It's going to be hell. But Lord Jesus, I just don't understand why people or how people is even getting the mental capacity to even do some shit like this. The mother, though, I don't know what's going on in this city, but it's a lot of suicide. It's a lot of depression. It's a lot of people that's not mentally strong enough to handle what's going on. And I'm staying in my bubble. I'm keeping my peace. I'm keeping my family protected. You cannot get to me, and I will not allow you to get to me. God protect my soul. God protect my family, and God protect my surrounding friends that I love truly. Because this world, I don't understand what's actually going on, but all I can say is me and my family is covered.